What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Apologies, it is getting hot out here in the garage, so I do have the fan going in the background. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt. It doesn't seem to have been too bad in the other videos when I do have to do mic adjustment for sound. So hopefully it's just a little bit of the motor noise and not the wind noise, because I do have the sock on the mic. Today, I am really excited to finally bring you my review of the TW Price Dawn. Now, as you know, I do unbox and carry the knife. The knife came in this box here. He does have handwritten thank you and my order number. It did come in plastic bag with a little bit of stuffing in there, and then a very tasteful little seal up there with his branding. Yeah, his branding, his signature. Yeah, it's probably his signature. So these are made by Best Tech. Nice job having good presentation while having minimal cost go into the presentation and having the rest of the cost go into the price of the knife. Let me go ahead and back out a little bit here, because I just realized I am in really close and I'm going to need all the space that I can get. I think that's still too much. We'll go in just a little bit more. There you go. Now, as I mentioned, I carry, cut, handle, do all the good stuff, come back, show you what it comes in, and then do the full review of the knife. That way you can actually get good thoughts and impressions on the knife. I will go through specifications. I did forget to show you the side of the box, because it does tell you everything that comes with it. M390, it is a bead blast blade finish on the titanium handles, and this is the Dawn first production run. Here's his Instagram if you want to give him a follow, so that if he does any additional runs or new knife models, you can follow him and hear about that. Let's get into the knife. The Dawn has a 3.3 inch M390 blade, 4.4 inch middle titanium handles, overall length 7.5 inches, which I think is a very good EDC, everyday carry size for a pocket knife. 3.3 ounces is the claimed weight. Let's go ahead and grab the scale and move my book out of the way. Check that 3.3 ounce weight. Let's see here. Should be, it's nice and small. Yeah, so, ooh, 3.2 ounces, coming in lighter than the advertised weight. Very nice, glad to see that. Doing better than what they claimed. It could be 2. I might have grabbed that weight when I ordered. I know that they made some changes. They knocked down the milling on it a little bit, so that could be part of what you're seeing here. Knife wants to continue to move. That's a shame. I'd like to be able to keep that angle to show it to you. Let's go ahead and run through size comparisons. This will help you from a size and profile reference to understand the size of the Dawn. First up, we're going to bring out the Spyderco Yojimbo 2, which is going to be very similarly sized in length, but the Dawn is going to have less overall presence. It's just going to be a smaller in-hand experience. You're going to have a more filling ergo from the Yojimbo 2. Next up, we're going to bring out the Spyderco Shaman. As you can see, the Shaman is just going to dwarf the Dawn. Oh, I didn't realize the little fuller there ran into the Dawn. Dang on it, I had it stabilized. That's okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'll be fidgeting with it the entire time I'm out here. Let's go ahead, put the compression lock knives away, and then we'll bring out the crossbar locks. First up, and this is going to be an alternative recommendation, is going to be the Benchmade Bug Out. This is a very good size comparison if you're into a bug out size knife. Very similarly sized, different approaches and philosophies to ergos, and blade shape is very similar. It has a very similar gradual drop point. Like this has a little bit more of an aggressive drop point and a little less aggressive of an upsweep. This is a less aggressive drop point and a little bit more of aggressive upsweep towards the tip, so a little bit different, but they both give you a lot of belly for the push cuts. Next out, we'll bring the SIG K320 made by Hogue. This one here is just going to be bigger in girth, weight, and overall length, but still you get a lot of cutting edge on that Dawn. It's very surprising the cutting edge is on there when you take and look at the two knives, that bigger knife and that smaller knife, giving you very similar cutting paths there. Cutting edge, sorry, not path. Cutting edge. All right, last but not least, let's bring out the budget alternatives or budget knife for comparison. This is going to be the KU321 or the QB Royal. As you can see here, this is just much smaller. And then the USA made Buck 110, which is just going to be longer overall. As you can see, the Dawn is landing right in between the two of these. All right, let's go ahead and check out a couple of these for a presence so you can get an idea just how thin or thick this knife may be. Oh, I opened it back up. I went too far back with that drop there. So you can see here the Dawn is just going to be thinner than the QB Royal. We'll bring the bug out back out here. You can see these are going to be about the same. The Dawn might have just a touch more thickness to it, and I think that has to do with a little bit of contouring. You get a little bit on the bug out, but it looks like you got a little bit more on the Dawn. So very similar thickness. It's going to feel probably identical and carry presence. And then the Yojimbo 2, which also represents the pair of 3, you can see here these are the same. Now, let me go ahead into my thoughts and impressions, and then I'll give you alternative recommendations. This knife was $250. The M390 by Bestech seems to be really well done. Has a very nice blade shape. I like it a lot. Satin finish on it looks really good. It looks like it has a final top finish of a side-to-side, which I think looks really nice on here. He has his signature in here, very minimal branding. Very generous sharpening choil on there with a very shallow plunge grind. As you can see, the reflection gets consistent right about there, so your plunge grind is finishing right about there. That shadow line should let you know right about where that plunge grind finishes. Very nice. I like the little purple in the pivot to give a little bit of color. I love this texturing here. It's not aggressive. It feels very good in hand and is very good grip. I love that he did a chamfer all the way down through here where the fingers all touch. The pinky is the only spot that doesn't have a whole lot of chamfering, but it still feels very good in hand. There is milling in the titanium handles here, as you can see, milled on both sides. The cut for the lock bar is on the inside, so you're not going to run into any issues with this going in and out of the pocket. The bill does go up a little bit, you can feel it a tiny bit. It's not sharp, you can just feel that it's there. They did a good job chamfering down the edge of this, so you don't really feel it in hand. The lock bar is actually just a little tight for my big hands, but it's not awful. If you have bigger hands, just be aware that it's going to be a little bit of a tighter fit to get in there for you with the larger hands, but it's not awful. Ceramic bearings in the pivot, so you have really nice action. This blade just flies out with the reverse flick. It actually does work pretty good with the thumb flick because it's nice and sharp inside that fuller, so it does catch the meat of that thumb and it comes flying out. I really do think they did a good job with the front flipper. I usually tend to prefer the smaller milling and for it to go all the way around, but in this instance it has enough of a filler or enough of a front flipper here to catch that finger and for it to come out very easily, and the D10 is tuned really well for both that flipper and the reverse flick fuller, thumb flick fuller. All of it works really nicely. So really nice design, very well executed. Pocket clip works really nicely. Doesn't have a spot for a lanyard, which really doesn't bother me because again it does offer a full 4-finger grip, just getting all 4 fingers on there, so it feels really good in hand. Nice thin slicey blade. I'm running out of paper here. Nice thin slicey blade, just wants to go through all of the material. Very nice. Bestech did a very good job with the edge of this knife, so cuts through the paper really well. Probably need to get a new sheet of paper there. I've been slicing on that one for quite a few videos. Goes through the cardboard really well, and it feels comfortable in hand. Even if you're gripping down a little bit, like I'm not trying to squeeze it to death, but I'm just saying, like if you're gripping it down to try to control through some push cuts, if you're trying to cut through some cardboard and some rope, it's going to be very comfortable to use. Again, for an EDC pocket knife, I don't know how hard some folks might use it. I have bigger knives for heavier duty tasks for longer period of use, but I would say if you had one knife, this would do really well. I like it. I think it's a great design, so much so that I jumped on the pre-order. I've been excited about this for the entire time that I've been waiting for this knife. I can't remember, I want to say about 6 months ago. I'm not 100% sure, but it has been a little while, and this is just a killer design, very well executed by Bestech. I think they did a good job communicating back and forth on this knife. Very good action. It's not fall shut action, but again, I think that's because they properly tuned the detent, so it feels good when you go to use the fuller or the flipper. So I think that's why you're not seeing that guillotine fall shut action, because it is satin, shouldn't require a lot of break in, just a few shakes and it's shut. So really impressed with this. It has remained centered. I've been carrying it for a little over a week. I knew I wasn't going to need much time with this knife, but I feel like I got a really good handle on it and I really understand what it is. I think a good, again, this is an overseas made knife, a good USA alternative at that $250 price point. You can go on to Benchmade's website and you can have them make an aluminum or titanium version, or you can buy the same thing that I did here. I bought the Blade HQ exclusive on sale for Father's Day for around $120, and then I spent $50 on the scales during a holiday sale for the titanium scales, and then I anodized them myself. So I feel like that is a really good option. Another alternative at this price point for a USA made knife is going to be the ProTech Malibu. You can get the ProTech Malibu for around $230. This is $250. You are getting aluminum versus titanium. You're getting 20 CV versus M390, but you're getting a button lock. Both of them have very good texturing, so I do like that a lot. I think that's a really good comparison. I actually like that even better than the bug out comparison, because these two have the milling on there. So I think from that perspective, giving you that texture and that grip, really nice. Now, if you're on a budget, you don't know what you want to get, you don't want to spend that type of money, I am going to continue to tout and boast the Kershaw Skyline with the 20 CV and JG10, the Blade HQ exclusive variant here. You're getting that for 99 bucks, and it's made in the USA. Granted, it's not as premium because it doesn't have the titanium, but you are getting a very well done stone washed 20 CV blade made right here in the USA, and it is a very thin, slicey, even thinner than the bug out carry if you're looking for something thinner. If you're looking for something a little bit thicker, you like something a little bit bigger, I don't know why you're watching this video, but that recommendation would be the SIG K320 made by Hogue. You can get this one also with the aluminum inlay G10 S30V, 190 bucks, and I'm sure if you pay attention to these and they're in stock around the holidays, you probably will be able to land these for 170, which would be a killer deal. All in all, though, I think that this is just a killer design. I think it looks different enough from anything else that I presented here for it to be special. It feels special. I actually like this one so much, and I say this with a heavy heart, I actually sold my Mini Tempest by Sharp by Design, and I really like that knife. But I believe it or not, I just like this design and this execution just a little bit more than I do the Mini Tempest. And the Mini Tempest was very good, but it was very smooth, chamfered down, a little small in hand. What this does for me, though, with the, I hit the tripod, with the front flipper and the milling here, all of that allows this for it to be a more confident operation. The Mini Tempest, because it didn't even have the micro ribbed milling on it to help feel secure. So this actually has totally replaced the Mini Tempest, and it came in at less money. That to me, I think, is the impressive part. Pocket clip, again, well done, and even though it does have that ribbing, it goes in and out of the pocket because I think the ribbing is spaced enough to actually not cause it to hang up going in and out of the pocket. So I really do like this. I gave you some alternative recommendations, both US and Japanese made. I don't think I did the Japanese one, did I? I think I did a bunch of US. I didn't realize it. Apologies. You do have the Wii Beacon coming in at about $50 less. That's going to be very similar to this knife as far as size and carry profile, carry presence. Let me bring them down a little bit so you can see here. So I think the Beacon's going to be a really good alternative option if you just want something that's a little bit less money. It's about 50 bucks less, but again, this is manufactured very well by Wii. It does have 20 CV instead of the M390, which again, very similar traits as far as steels go. You do get dual means of deployment with both of these. You get a fuller that allows you to do the reverse flick. You get a flipper tab on the Beacon if you don't like the front flipper, so that might be something else. You get a better pocket clip on the Price than on the Dawn. TW Price is the designer, sorry, the Dawn, but it is a very functional clip that you get on the Beacon as well. And as far as alternate recommendations, I mean, if you're looking at this knife, I would say keep an eye on his Instagram. I definitely think it's worth picking up. But overall, this is a very recommendable nice knife. I do like it a lot. I hope he designs a larger one. Having said that, I would like to see, because the other ultimate recommendation is actually going to be a small Sabenza, but it is going to actually cost you more money. Small Sabenza is going to be about the same size as this knife, and he is heavy. He said that, I believe, if I remember seeing, I don't remember whose review it is, but I think he said that he was inspired by Chris Reeves to design his own knife. So I don't know where he's going to go. I don't know if he's looking to just continuously design like Laconico, and maybe at some point in time he learns and makes customs, or maybe he opens his own shops and he's hiring people. I mean, I don't know where he's looking to go, but I definitely want to pay attention to him because I like the design aesthetics. He took the feedback in positively and made those changes because he wanted to make a knife not only that he designed and liked, but that the end user was going to like as well. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor, leave a like. Consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. If you are, thank you for your support. I appreciate you very much. Make sure everyone you have your notifications set to all so you don't miss alerts for any videos that drop. That way you can pick and choose the ones that you want to watch. And I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Until next time, my friends, peace.